Ladies and gentlemen, this is MTGO Traders. My name is Taryn. Let's go over some Amonkhet preview cards. Amonkhet preview season is here? It's not supposed to start for another day, but here we go. So let's go over some of the cards that have been spoiled and then go over the beautiful, the immaculate Cycled Dual Lands. So first up, let's look at Unwavering Initiate. With 2 colorless and 1 white mana, this Vigilance creature has one of the new mechanics on it, Embalm. Just to bring you to speed, Embalm is an activated ability once a creature has hit a graveyard at sorcery speed on your turn that allows you to place a creature token of that creature onto the battlefield, but now it's a zombie. It's honestly pretty sweet. Just for comparison's sake, Unwavering Initiate is basically a more expensive version of Call of the Herd. And if you don't know what Call of the Herd is, it's basically a card that gets reprinted every single time in rare. Though it is more expensive, Unwavering Initiate does get the trade-off of having Vigilance. Having early game board presence, making it trade-off in the mid game, and then having it come back late game is actually pretty good. I would say at the common level it's kind of ridiculous. But next up we've actually got a reprint, and it's a strange reprint of Renewed Faith. 2 colorless and 1 white mana, you gain 6 life, or you can cycle it and then you gain 2 life. While this card probably won't see any kind of standard play alongside maybe Unwavering Initiate, which I think it may actually see some little ditty tiny bits of standard play, Creature Flashback is kind of relevant here. I do think Renewed Faith will have a lot of good limited interactions. Cycling in a limited format especially is really good because your decks of course are a lot smaller. But it is strange that Renewed Faith is getting reprinted here. I don't think it's been reprinted since Onslaught. And it's getting the tick from common to uncommon. I think that just kind of goes to show that cycling needs to be respected in the limited environment. Now let's go on to Flavor Town, Population Us. Prowling Stupoppered, I think it's Stupoppered, is a 1 colorless, 2 green, 4/3 Snake Cat. Did I say Snake Cat? Yes, I did. Its abilities are it can't be countered when it comes into play, and creatures you control can't be countered either. Okay, so let's just stop for a moment and appreciate the Snake Cat for what it is. It's also a good idea to know the perspective and flavor of this actual creature and that it's actually in Egyptian and Mesopotamian lore. Stupoppered is actually a combination of serpent and leopard, which is pretty interesting. So far in the set, they've nailed the flavor. As for playability of the card, I'm not sure. Look, I'm not going to be that guy to run through all the 4/3s for 3 that were like printed in standard that people lost their minds over, but we can kind of run through that real quick. Just to kind of give you an example, Savage Knuckle Blade was actually in Khans of Tarkir, and people thought it was going to do a lot of stuff, didn't do hardly anything. I know that's controversial because the Nux did see some standard play, but for those of you who are around in Khans of Tarkir, of course, Mardu and Abzan kind of stole the show. Right now in our standard environment, green is kind of only there for tutoring out your basic lands and useful in the black-green Constrictor deck. The utility of this card is great, but it's trying to combat a very specific type of deck, and I'm not sure it's kind of there yet for that. Again, the standard environment always changes as soon as a new set comes out, so for what I see right now, it's not as good as I want it to be, but it is a really great limited pick if you do get it in limited. Oh, and Commander, you guys can go wild. Moving on to another surprising reprint that was actually made into an invocation, we've got Aven Mindcensor in the main standard block. Wizards reprinting things that need to be reprinted in standard? What? As weird as it seems, like, actually yeah, that's what happened. Aven Mindcensor hasn't been in standard since Future Sight, and it's actually getting a bump up in rarity from uncommon to rare. But with so many tutor cards in the standard format, I think Aven Mindcensor will see a ton of play. You've got your Attune with Aether, you've got your Traverse the Uvenwald, Diabolic Tutor, Inventor's Fair. I mean, I could go on. While it doesn't necessarily stop the searching of the deck, it does restrict it, and that can be just as deadly. Don't underestimate the Mindcensor here. It'll see a lot of play in standard. I'm almost kind of looking forward to like an Azurius control deck now. It saw some fringe play in modern as well as commander. However, I probably would feel pretty bad for you if you pulled it in your sealed pool on your pre-release night. Reason being is that while it's a great standard card and even a modern playable card, in the limited environment it's just a 2/1 flyer. The limited search ability won't be as relevant in limited. Alrighty, so let's move on to the new basic lands. Guys, the new art in Amonkhet is like a next level of gorgeous. The artists are going out of their way now to make this stuff look incredible. The perspective is unbelievable, and the flavor is caked on top. Clearly, the Egyptian theme here works on so many different levels. The vibrant colors, the lush forests, the pyramid mountains? What? Nonetheless, they're great. But finally, let's move on to the last talking point we have today, which are the bicycle lands. I won't call them that again, I promise. The allied dual lands are here, and boy do they look swell. From irrigated farmland to sheltered thicket and fetid pools, the artwork here is striking, distinct, and super flavorful. One of the biggest upsides that people I think are missing right now is that they're actually dual land types too, which is something that can be fetched in Modern, and I think that's a huge deal. While they do come in tap regardless of anything you do, the cycling ability is very relevant, so I expect to see it in Limited, Standard, and Modern play. I'm unsure of the longevity of the price as far as these dual lands go, since they come in tapped, but I'm always of the sense of if there are new dual lands, you buy them as soon as you can. Allied and enemy land cycles, and they never really go down, they always go up, eventually. But that's it for today. What did you guys think of the new reprints? Aven Mindcensor being in Standard is actually really nice. I can't wait for future blocks to be reprints of cards that need to be reprinted, instead of just being invocations. Hopefully this is a sign of things to come. But what did you think of the dual lands? Let me know in the comments below. Like if you liked the video, and subscribe to MTGO Traders for more content in the future. For now though, hold on to your hats because it's going to be a long weekend of waiting. We'll see you next week. Hey guys, like Aven Mindcensor? Great! Since it's a reprint, it's actually readily available on MTGOtraders.com. Your #1 source for Magic the Gathering online cards for sale or purchase. You can grab a playset right now for just $4. $4! That's not going to stay there, so I recommend grabbing them as soon as possible. As always, you can keep up with other great prices on MTGOtraders.com.